Good morning, everyone. We're at the parish house that is on the property of the First Congregational Church of Gray, and we have the Lions Club with us today to talk a little bit about the history of their group, their current project, and how they feel they work with the community. One thing that I am, as a volunteer for Gray Community TV, I'm very interested in getting all kinds of people and groups together to reach across the table and work with each other in a time that, we've had some strife, for different situations, and we feel a little alienated from each other and as a community. And I want us to focus and show the community all the great things people are still doing together regardless of who they are or where they are in the community. We're doing really good things. And the Lions Club, this is spectacular what they're doing. Jen Dupree is sitting beside me, and she's going to introduce the rest of their group, and I'm going to let them take it from here, and occasionally I might ask a question. Enjoy.
Thank you, Mary, for that lovely introduction. And again, my name is Jennifer Dupuy, and sitting next to me is Joe Murray, and next to him is Dave Geisley. And next to Dave, we have Irene Murray, and we are the Gray-New Gloucester Lions. And on that happy note, I'll turn it over to, I think, Lion Joe is going to give a little history on the club.
Okay. There's a couple of questions we get asked a lot as Lions. One of them is, who are the Lions? And the other is, what do Lions do? So I'm going to try to answer question number one with just a little bit of history today. It all started in 1917 when a Chicago businessman by the name of Melvin Jones convinced other members of his business association that there should be a group that is dedicated to service to others. And he was successful in that, to the point where they invited other groups to join them and across the country, and they gathered in Chicago and formed what was called the Association of Lions. Association of Lions Clubs. Okay. Later that year, they officially adopted the name Lions because lions represented strength, courage, and action. In 1920, 3 years later, the first Canadian club was formed, and they became the International Association of Lions Clubs. In 1925 was a banner year for them. Up until 1925, the mantra of this was basically service to others. And Helen Keller was a speaker at the convention in 1925. And she challenged the Lions to become Knights for the Blind. The challenge was accepted. And Lions' focus then became service to the blind and visually impaired. Well, that was a long time ago. It's 100 years ago or more. And over the past century, much has changed. Now we are the largest service organization in the world, with 1.4 million members, 49,000 clubs in 190 countries and territories. It's a big outfit, and we are everywhere. The mission now is multifaceted. We include youth, blindness prevention, diabetes, hunger, environment, just to name a few. There are a couple of others too. So it's changed a lot in 100 years. Some things haven't changed a lot. That is, the organization is still headquartered in Chicago. It's still the International Lions Association of Lions Clubs. But it's a pretty lean organization. From the sort of the mothership there in Chicago, it's broken down into districts. I'm not even sure how many districts there are, but we are District 41, and District 41 includes all of Maine. And I'm proud to say that one of our members, Kitty Doyle, is this year's district director. That's a very honored position to be involved in. Both of those organizations set up primarily to provide just support and assistance to the clubs. The clubs are pretty much autonomous. We're able to make all our decisions, how we want to meet, when we want to meet, the things we want to support, the programs we want to contribute to. Those are all the decisions that are made at the club level. And Lion Dave is going to be talking about those things a little bit more soon. The one cardinal rule that comes down from Chicago is that every penny we get from the public must be returned to the public in some meaningful way. That could be scholarships, that could be donations to Irish Network or guide dogs or things of that nature. But we must return it to the public. Any cost to run the club has to come from our dues or money that we gather from other Lions, but it has to be Lions sourced. All public money has to go back to the public. And I know our club president, Dave Guys, is going to be talking more about the club, so I'll turn that over to him, and maybe he can answer question 2, which says, what do Lions do?
First, I want to thank you for giving that talk on that. That was fascinating.
Well, thank
and
you.
Everywhere I've lived in Maine, and I've lived a lot of different places, there has been a Lions Club.
There are something like 70 clubs.
I
in the
didn't
state of
really
Maine.
know,
Yeah.
other than it was a good organization, what they did.
Yeah.
And that about Helen Keller, wow, that is something. And for you to still be in all the communities all these years later.
All these years later.
Thank you
yeah.
for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so the Gray-New Gloucester Club was chartered in 1984, so we are just about 40 years old now. That makes my maths correct. And we do many projects. For years we've done blood drives every spring. One of our biggest things is we provide eyeglasses for those in need that can't afford the glasses themselves. We have a program where we have people fill out an application, and that gets looked over by our committee, and then they decide to approve that or not. And so the glasses program has always been a big part of Lions because of the Helen Keller connection and Knights of the Blind. We also provide hearing aids. We have a program where we collect used hearing aids, and we have a person, I believe it's in Auburn or Lewiston?
He's in District. He's located in, I think he's up Augusta way.
Augusta way, okay. Who now refurbishes those hearing aids, and he can set them up with people who need hearing aids who can't afford them. And the other big thing is we give 2 scholarships out to one Gray resident and one Gloucester resident each year. Those scholarships have been going on as long as I've been here. I've been in the club since about 1987 or so, 88. And so we've been doing that. We've done a lot of other things as well, a lot of sponsored Christmas things we've done with the Nubian Center. We help out the Caring for Communities Christmas program. When the Gray Manor was here, we used to provide Christmas gifts for the Gray Manor. Let's see, we also host our oratorical competition where we invite high school students to participate in the, what's the name of it now?
Speak Out.
Speak Out.
Yep.
And there's, again, awards for the winner of that, but the winner also moves on to the district level and competes against other people from other clubs. And as you move up, the prizes become a little bit bigger. So that's another great thing. We also sponsor Camp Sunshine, Camp Susan Curtis, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We've had a couple of larger projects that we've done over the years in helping out Camp Sunshine with an emergency generator, helping them out with that project, helping out the Good Shepherd Food Bank with a generator as well. We painted the railroad car down by the...
Then they moved it.
in anticipation they were going to have the railroad there, but
The narrow
then
gauge.
the narrow gauge railroad ended up getting taken away after
That's a
that.
story all in itself that we could
That
do.
kind of is, yeah. And we have different events that we do to raise money. We have what we call our Journey for Sight, where we do walk. We try to do it now through town, so we get a little more, we used to do it on coming down Route 100, but it became kind of dangerous to do that. So we decided to keep it on the sidewalks in the town here, but we also get a little more publicity. People see us out there a little bit better. We have our, well, we've had a golf tournament in the past. We haven't done that one for a couple of years, but we've had that one, which was a good fundraiser. What would you say were some of the other?
Well, we ran the car show in New Gloucester for 10 years.
That's right. Yep. And
Yeah.
and there's lots of smaller things we do to try to raise funds, but the businesses in Gray-New Gloucester have been very helpful for us. They are very supportive of the projects that we do, and also like for our Journey per Site, we often get a lot of good-sized sponsorships from the local businesses, and always want to thank them for their help with us too. So that's just a little bit about what Lions do.
Well, thank you
I don't know
so,
if you guys want to add anything else that I forgot?
so much for telling us more about that. Especially, people could get in contact you if they are unable to buy glasses or hearing aids. So we'll continue on with our discussion.
But could I make a comment? I brought the charter, and while it's been in the closet for a
You
while.
want to pick that up and bring it
Again.
forward here?
Right. The point I wanted to make about it is there are some 29 names on this charter, and it's from 1984 when we were chartered, and there are still 3 names on this charter that are still members of the club.
Really? Who are
There's
they?
Dean Neal in New Gloucester, David Gray from Gray, and Jim Thompson, who now lives in New Hampshire, but he still maintains membership in this club.
And they're older people now?
Well, yes, we just celebrated Dean's
all are.
90th birthday.
Oh.
I'm not sure how old Dave is, or Jim for that matter, but I know we had the 90th birthday for Dean.
Wow, that's
So-
wonderful. Think of all the service projects those
Oh,
people have worked
They've
on.
worked on a ton of things for a long time.
And you know, Mary, that's why I got into this club. I guess you could say I'm a newbie. I only joined in 1997, so, you know, that's a relatively short time comparatively.
I was going to ask you, Jen, how long you'd been a member and why you joined.
Well, I started out in the Yarmouth Lions Club because I lived in Yarmouth briefly, and they have a strong club. But when my husband and I moved to Gray, I really wanted to focus on supporting my town. I love this town, and I feel it's important that we give something back to our community. And this organization takes the motto, "We serve," very seriously. This is not a social club. And that's not to say we don't have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, but we mean business to get serving our communities, whether that's through a blood drive or a high school scholarship or Camp Susan Curtis, so many different things. And I have a great pride for being in this club because I've been able to participate in many wonderful projects throughout the years. The projects that I think we're focused on quite a bit right now, one is Seniors Bingo, and we do that in collaboration with the town of Gray, where the second Friday of every month, we are hosting bingo in the second floor of the town offices.
I've gone and it's a lot of fun. And there
Again.
are prizes that are very coveted there. I've seen the ladies and the men
I know.
pick out ahead of time. They hope they win.
What is it with those pink gnomes that
I
draw
know,
people
and-
in? It's insane. I don't know what it is. You'd think we'd filled it with a gold coin or
I
something.
know.
Anyway.
It's very competitive.
It's downright scary is
Yeah.
what it is sometimes. But anyway, we have a lot of fun, and the seniors. I say seniors. I mean it's open to anyone 55 and older, but it also 10% of the people playing can be under 55. I just know it's a lot of fun. We have a little bit of food. We have a little bit of drink. There's music. Mary's even been known to bust out dancing.
Yeah,
So
I
you know,
have my days.
you never know what you're going to get.
The snacks are wonderful. I will
Thank
say
you.
that.
I'll take that personally. I knew you liked my banana bread.
Yes.
Anyway, the other project that we're working on that we are very excited about right now is the Trex Bench program. And Trex, in case you don't know, is a nationwide company that recycles plastic and turns it into composite decking, railing. They do furniture, and it's all that hard plastic. And they have a bench program whereupon if we, as an organization, can recycle 1,000 pounds of plastic, they will make a 48-inch bench for our club. And we are going to put that bench somewhere in the community. We haven't yet determined exactly where, but the bench is 48 inches, and it can be gray, it can be green, it can be brown, delivered free to us. And this is a program that speaks to all of us, because these plastics would normally be going into our town, our landfill. And instead, as I say, this company takes the plastic and repurposes it. So it is a great project, but we could use your help, most definitely. Not only are we looking for plastic, and the plastics that we are looking for have to have a number 2 or number 4 on them, but not the hard plastic, not the plastic like a milk jug. We are looking for plastic much like what I have in my lap, like the kind of plastic that wraps up, let's say, your paper towels, or if you buy in bulk your toilet paper, or if you have water bottles. We can take the wrappers around pallets. We can take any number of plastic wrap, as long as it's not too crinkly and it cannot have contained food, such as we don't take candy wrappers, we don't take hot dog wrappers. But we could use your plastic, and if you are ever in doubt, I always say put it in, because we're going to sort through it anyway. We want these plastics to be accepted, so we tend to go through the bags anyway. And that's the other piece that I think we could use even more help with. We have bags of plastic, and when I say bags, I don't mean little kitty bags. I mean gargantuan bags. And we fill these with plastic, and we go through them in order to make sure that, again, the labels are off, to make sure they're the plastics that Trex is looking for.
Here comes the plastic demonstration.
Here's a gargantuan bag.
Yes, and those are the thank you. And so we could always use the help. Once a month, we have what we call a work party, and I'm not going to kid you, it's not really a party. It's more like a work session, but we have a lot of fun doing it. And you don't even need to be standing up for it. You don't need to have any skills except your 2 hands that can go through a bag of plastic. And we work together, so there's, in case there's any questions about what's accepted and what's not. But we could use your help. And we do make it fun, because there's always a raffle for anyone that shows up to help out sorting through the plastic. Their name is immediately put into a raffle for just something small, like a couple dozen eggs, or some chocolate raspberry truffles, or a pretty candle, or something, just to make it fun. But we could use your help.
People could call or email.
That would be
Lions Club
terrific.
And set that time and find out the time,
Yes.
and if they're needed.
And again, typically we do that on the second Friday before our seniors bingo. But for more information on that, it is best to call or email the number that'll be on the screen at the end of this video.
Thank you.
Yeah, the
Sure.
plastics have to be dry, too. That's another big
Ah, yes, thank you, Lion Dave. The plastics, that's another thing that we check for, is to make sure there's no moisture in the bags, because Trex takes their, they take their work very seriously, and they want it to be precise. They don't want plastics that are contaminated with, let's say, food, and they want the plastics to be basically clean and dry. So, right, that's the program we're working. It's called the Trex Bench Program. And please reach out. If you're able to even give us a half hour of your time, we would so appreciate the help.
You have some other examples?
I
Here,
do.
you can sit there, I'll pass them to you.
Well,
Or do you
sure,
want to stand up?
let's
or-
do some plastic. No, pass it over. This one, I'm thinking this one is good, but one thing that we do watch out for is they don't want plastic that is too crinkly. And I think this one is okay. They don't want plastic that is too crinkly or that tears too easily. Some other things, though, that are good, I know cereal bags are okay, produce bags are okay. This plastic, again, is okay. So when I get it, the first thing I do is I look, does it have a label? Because Amazon packages are okay, but Trex doesn't want the paper. They want the plastic. So that label either needs to be mostly
I see.
torn out
This
or
one.
just, even if you can sometimes
This-
peel them off.
That one has a label on it.
Yeah, so when I go through my bags, I look for the label, and
Oh, just get a small piece on it.
if it's a small label, it's not a big deal. Like this one, I don't even know where the label is on this one, but
Really tiny.
And color doesn't matter?
No,
this is
color
a-
doesn't
a
matter.
Soap zest,
That's
Yes.
crinkly though.
This is not okay. This one
Oh,
I
that
want,
one's a
this
bad
one
one.
was an example. Listen to this crinkle, right?
oh, okay. Take
Yeah,
that away. Let
it's
me have that
crinkly
back.
and it tears real easily. So
Okay.
we don't want
Yeah.
any soap packaging.
Yeah, throw that in here.
Boo, boo.
What about this one? That's the long.
Jeez, I feel like I'm under a test.
I know.
This not okay. The packaging tape would be okay, but look at all the paper that's stuck to
Uh-oh,
it.
another
Boo.
throwaway. Get rid of that
Get
one.
rid of it, Mary. We don't want paper. Trex one's plastic. So anyway, and again, if you're not sure, that's okay. Just put it in a bag, bring it down to one of our work sessions, and get entered in the raffle. Stay and visit with us if you'd like, and we'll put you to work. Don't you fret. And if you're not sure, put it in anyway. We'll give you some guidance when we see you, or we'll just sort through it. And if it's not okay, we'll pull it out. No big deal.
Well, thank you very much today.
Sure.
And I want to add, if somebody's been inspired and they'd love to join the Lions Club, who do you have to be, or what do you have to be, or how old do you have to be, or how young you have to be, or all those things? What
There's
can you
no
tell
upper
us?
limit, or probably the lower limit's maybe 6 months.
Oh,
There's no
You have
upper
to be
limit.
out of diapers.
There's definitely no upper limit, and you really just have to be community-minded, somebody who wants to provide, to give service. We are a service organization. That's what we live for. So if you're service-minded and you would like to be of service, the Lions would welcome you.
could a person just come to one of your meetings?
Absolutely. We
to see
recommend
what
it,
it's
as a
all
matter of
about, Or you
fact.
could invite us back to a meeting sometime that we could video it and just see how a meeting works.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
it sounds great to me. I hope you get
Yeah.
lots of people, not only that might want to join, but this plastic thing's wonderful. And for our earth, we need to start doing that as part of our daily activity.
Yes.
Thank you for
Very
doing
much
that
so.
for our community.
Thank you
'cause
for
a lot
hosting us today.
A lot of this plastic you can't put in your recycling bins. This is a lot of the stuff you can't put in your recycling bins.
Yeah, well, this stuff goes to the landfill.
Yeah.
Did you want to say thank you to the stores?
Yeah, just-
Oh, I want to give a shout out. We've got some businesses here in Gray that have supported this program wonderfully. The Gray Shop and Save has given us loads of plastics because their pallets come in plastic and shrink wrap is accepted. So they've donated lots of plastic to this cause. And the Cook's Hardware has been wonderful in giving us bags of plastic each week. So we just thank the businesses that have helped us to reach our goal of 1,000 pounds, which might sound like a lot, but you'd be surprised how quickly you can get there. We've only done this for a few months, and I believe we are already up to 300 pounds plus. So it's amazing and a little alarming at how much plastic would accumulates. Yes, I'm so excited that it's going to be repurposed instead of going into our landfill.